Okay. So, previous classes we studied about Charaka Nidanasthana and completed all 8 chapters. And I hope that you have revised all those and made a note of what is important and reading it. And see that once we finish the classes, you finish with one revision there itself. Okay. So from today we'll start with the Ashtanga Hridaya. I'll be taking with from Sutra Sthana. Okay, all the 30 chapters of Sutra Sthana. So for your AIPGT is concerned, from Ashtanga Hridaya, you can expect around a maximum of 10 to 12 questions. Okay, and mainly from Sutra Sthana, there are chances that you will get at least 4 or 5 questions. And all the questions which is related to the basics of Ayurveda and the first level questions of AIPGT, that you will be getting from Ashtanga Hridaya. And there are some other topics like from Uttarasthana and Chikitsasthana where certain specific contributions of Vagbhata, from their questions may arise. Other than that, from Chikitsa, Nidana and all, Ashtanga Hridaya is not much important. Mainly Sutrasthana itself is important, especially the first 15 chapters of Ashtanga Hridaya Sutrasthana. Before we go into the first chapter, any samhita you're studying, be it be Brihatrayis, Lagutrayis or other minor samhitas, you make it a point that you know about who is the author and what is the kala of the particular author and what is the tikas which is there in, which is been written in that particular samhita. Any samhita it is, this basic history of a particular samhita you have to know. So this even covers your history part also. Okay, and here coming to Ashtanga Hridaya, so it was the Rachayita is whom? It is Laghu Vagbhata. Okay, and the Kala of Vagbhata here is 7th century AD, approximately around 7th century AD, whereas Ashtanga Sangraha it is 6th century AD. So just make a note, Ashtanga Hridaya was written by Laghu Vagbhata in the 7th century AD. And totally there are 44 tikas which are available, out of which only few are available now. 44 tikas were written. Okay, you have to know which are some important tikas, you have to know the name and the tikakara. Okay, first is Padartha Chandrika by Chandranandana Krita. So here in the name itself it says Chandrika Chandranandana Krita. Remember, Padartha Chandrika Chandranandana Krita. Then Sarvanga Sundara by Aruna Datta. This almost the currently what we are studying, Ashtanga Hridaya, the Tika which is there, that is the Sarvanga Sundara Tika Aruna Datta. So this everybody knows. Usually they won't ask question here. But remember, Sarvanga Sundara is Aruna Datta. Then Ayurveda Rasayana. So Ayurveda Rasayana, it is written by Hemadri Krita. Okay. See, there are some codes you make to remember these tikas, otherwise you will not remember. Remember like Ayurveda Rasayana was some Rasayana, Ayurveda Rasayana was taken by some girl named Hema. Remember like that. Ayurveda Rasayana Hemadri Krita. Okay. Then Indumati Tika or Shashilekha Tika, it is written by Indukrita. So Indumati Tika by Indukrita. Here you can make some codes depending on your situation, but I had made a code saying that there was one ma'am, her name was Shashi Rekha. So there was one character in your what is that, Chota Beam, named Indumati. So I had imagined that madam to be Indumati and remembered as Indumati and Shashi Lekha Tika, which is written by Indukrita. Depending on your whatever codes you want to make, you can make like that. Okay, but these are the 4 important tikas which is usually which are important and you have to know. That is Padartha Chandrika by Chandranandana Krita, Sarvanga Sundara Aruna Datta, Ayurveda Rasayana Hemadri, and Indumati, also called as Shashilekha Tika by Indukrita. There are others like Manognya Chintamani and Sanketa Manjari and all. That's not much important. These 4 tikas you remember, and total number of tikas are 44. And the Kala of Vagbhata is 7th century AD. Okay, this basic history you should know. So coming to the first chapter. So the first chapter in Ashtanga Hridaya is Ayushkamiya Adhyaya, which is the first chapter of Charaka. First chapter of Charaka.
Dirganjiviti Adhyaya.
And Sushruta?
Vedotpatti Adhyay.
Yes, you have to know the names of the chapters, okay? As mainly like Sutra Sthana, you have to know the names and at least what is the basic contents of that chapter. Okay, coming to Ayushkami Adhyaya. So first he starts with the Ayurveda Avatarana. Who's that? Can you please mute yourself? Okay. So, yeah. So Ayurveda Avatarana, he says, Brahma Smritva Ayusho Vedaha. The shloka starts like that. And Ashtanga Hridaya he is given a word as Na Ati Sankshepa Vistaran. In the shloka we get no Na Ati Sankshepa Vistaran. Not Charaka and Sushruta, he has not told about Na Ati Sankshepa Vistaran, but Ashtanga Hridaya he has told it is not too elaborate nor very concise. Na Ati Sankshepa Vistaran. Coming to the Ashtangas of Ayurveda, this is important, this part where what are the different opinions of other acharyas, what is the order which is told. According to Ashtanga Hridaya, it is kaya, bala, chikitsa, then it is graha, then urdhvanga, shalya, damshtra, jara and vrishan. Okay, this is the order. First is kaya, bala, griha, urdhvanga, then it is shalya, damshtra, jara and vrishan. So almost all acharyas have told the Jara and Vrisha, that is Rasayana Vajikarana last. Only there is a difference in the first 6. Okay. You have to note that just make a comparative table of what is the difference of Ashtanga Ayurveda told by Vagbhata, Charaka and Sushruta. Okay. Also Kashyap also. So 4 tables you make for the Ashtangas of Ayurveda. Next, coming to the 4 types of Agni. So first one in Vishamagni is Vata. Wherever Vishama comes, remember it is Vata. Pitta, it is Tikshnagni. Kapha is Mandagni and Samadosha, if it is there, it is Samagni. So these all basics. Ashtanga Hridaya from first year you are studying. So all these are known facts only. We'll just brush up. Then coming to Koshta, 3 types are told. For Vata, it is Krura Koshta. For Pitta, it is Mrudu Koshta. And for Kapha, it is Madhyama Koshta. Here you have to note a little bit because Charaka and Sushruta says a little different opinion for Pitta and Kapha. Okay. So, but in Vagbhata, it is Vata is Krura, Pitta is Mrudu, and Kapha is Madhyama. Coming to Prakriti, so Ekadoshaja Prakriti, he says Dvidoshaja and Samadhatu Prakriti. So Ekadoshaja, it is, if it is Vata Prakriti, means only Vata Prakriti is there, it is Hina. Pitta Prakriti, it is Madhyama, and Kapha is said to be the Uttama Prakriti, and Sama Prakriti is Shrestha. Here what you have to remember is, he says Dvidoshaja Prakriti is Nindya. Okay, remember about Dvidoshaja Prakriti to be Nindya, and Vata is Hina and Kapha is Uttama. Then coming to Vata Gunas, these all you have by hearted the shlokas. Ruksha, Laghu, Shita, Khara, Sukshma, Chala are the gunas of Vata. And Charaka has specifically included Daruna and Vishada Guna. Apart from these 6 gunas, the number of gunas which is told is 6. And Daruna and Vishada Guna is extra guna which is added by Charaka. And Pitta Guna is Sa, Sneha, Ushna, Tikshna, Laghu, Visra, Sara and Drava. Okay, Sushruta has added Neela and Pita. He has explained about the Pitta, the color also he has explained. Coming to Kapha, he has told about Snigdha, Shita, Guru, Manda, Slakshna, Mritsna, Sthiraha. Okay, 7 gunas of Kapha. So 6 gunas of each Vata and Pitta, and there are 7 gunas which is told for Kapha. Extra gunas is Daruna and Vishada by Charaka, Neela and Pita for Pitta by Sushruta. Okay. And then again, you know all this, no? 2 doshas, if it is there, it is samsarga. 3 doshas, it is sannipata. Next, he has explained about the shadrasas: swadu, amla, lavana, tikta, ushana, and kashaya. So for the word katu, he has used the word ushana. Ushana means katu. In all these rasas, you have to know the synonyms. Like patu, he has told for lavana in other context. So sometimes you have to, they'll ask the synonym. So don't get confused there. So the order he has told is swadu, amla, lavana. Tikta is first, then it is katu, then it is kashaya. Tikta, ushana, kashaya, kaha, he says. And yatha purva balavaha means swadu is said to be the rasa which is having more bala. And later on, the bala goes on decreasing in from swadu, amla, lavana, tikta, katu, and kashaya. Okay, remember tikta, ushana, kata, kashaya. It is not katu, tikta, kashaya, but it is tikta, katu, kashaya. The order of rasa you have to know. Next, coming to three types of dravyas. So three types of dravyas he says about Shamana, Kopanam, Swastahitam, Dravyamiti Tridha. He says Shamana Dravya, Kopana Dravya, and Swastahita Dravya. So this specific classification is told by Vagbhata. Whereas Charaka classified based on Prabhava, but here Dravya is of three types: Shamana, Kopana, and Swastahita. Okay, two types of Virya and Trividha Vipaka: Ushna Virya and Shita Virya. Trividha Vipaka, which is told Madhura, Amla, Lavana. Okay, these all things very basics from first year you have studied. So these are all common basic points. Next is Sushruta's reference. Vipaka is of three types according to Vagbhata, also according to Charaka, but Sushruta has told two types of Vipaka, that is Guru and Laghu. There is one more classification of 8 types also based on Rasa that we'll study while studying Dravya Guna. But here you remember that 3 Vipakas are told by Vagbhata, whereas 2 Vipakas are told, that is Guru and Laghu by Sushruta. Okay. Then coming to the Roga, what he gives the definition of Roga or Vyadi. Rogastu dosha vaishamyam. Here, first chapter, he says Rogastu dosha vaishamyam. And he has classified Roga as 2 types, Nija and Agantuja, and Roga Adhishtana is Sharira or Kaya and Mano Adhishtana. And coming to the doshas of Manas, it is Raja and Tama. Sattva is not the dosha, it is the Manoguna. Okay. Next, coming to Rogi Pariksha, he has told Trividha Pariksha is there. With the reference of Trividha Pariksha, we get it in first chapter of Ashtanga Hridaya. That is Darshana, Sparshana, and Prashnaihi Parikshetcha Roginam, he says. So Darshana, Sparshana, and Prashna. The other references, that is Sushruta says about Shadvida Pariksha, that is Panchajnanendriya and Prashna Pariksha. Then we have the reference of Yoga Ratnakara who says Ashtavida Pariksha, Nadi Mala Mutra Jihva Shabda Sparsha Drigakriti. And Charaka says about the Dashavida Pariksha. So all these Parikshas of Charaka we'll study it in Vimanasthana. Okay. Then coming to the Desha. So main classification is Desha is classified into Bhumi Desha and Deha Desha. Bhumi Desha, again, it is classified as Jangala, Anupa, and Sadharana. What is very important here is you have to know which dosha is involved there. So in Jangala, it is Vata Bhuishta. Anupa, it is Kapha Bhuishta. And Sadharana Desha having the Samagunas or Samaguna, the dosha will be there in Sadharana Desha. You take one example and remember. The areas of North Karnataka and all, it is more of Vata Bhuishta Desha. It is a Jangala Desha. Whereas in the southern part, the South Canara region and all, it is Anupadesha. Here, Mysore and all, it is said to be Sadharana Desha. Okay, that is 3 types of classification of Bhumi Desha, he says. Then, next is Beshaja Yoga Krita Kala Prakara. He says 2 types of Kala. One, Kshanadi, and the other one is Vyadhi Avastha. Kshanadi Kala means it comes all, like Muhur Muhur, then Rutu Kala, all those comes under Kshanadi Kalas. Then Vyadhi Avasthas. Okay, 2 types of Kala, 3 types of Desha. Next, coming to Aushadas. So Aushada is of 2 types, Shodhana and Shamana. Right? And here the reference of Manasa Vikara Chikitsa Sutra, he says. That is Dhidairyatmadi Vijnanam Manodosha Aushadam Param. Okay, Dhidhairya Atmadi Vijnanam, or these 3 concepts he says. That is for Chikitsa Sutra of Manasa Vikaras. That is important. Next is he says about the Chatushpadas, right? All Chatushpadas, he gives 4 lakshanas of that. Here, what is important means certain features are told for 2 padas of the Chatushpada also. For example, Daksha. Daksha is told for both Vaidya as well as Paricharaka. Okay, and Shuchi also. Shuchi is told for both Vaidya and Paricharaka. Other than that, for Vaidya, he has told 4 gunas, that is Daksha. Then Tirthartha Shastrartha, he should have the proper knowledge of the Shastras, Drishta Karma and Shuchi. Okay, Aushadha is having 4 gunas, Bahukalpa, Bahuguna, Sampannam and Yogyam. Paricharaka again 4 gunas, Anurakta, Shuchi, Daksha, Buddhiman. And for Rogi, it is Adhya, he should be Bishagvashya, Jnapaka, and Sattvavan. I think you have by-hearted all these shlokas no, in first year and all. So you'll remember. Only remember that Daksha and Shuchi is told for both Vaidya and Paricharaka. Next is classification of Vyadhi Prakara based on Sadhya Asadhyata. Mainly we can classify it to be Sadhya and Asadhya. Sadhya is again divided into Sukha Sadhya and Kashta Sadhya. Asadhya is divided into Yapya and Anupakrama. So the features of each one, that is Sukha Sadhya, Kashta Sadhya, Yapya and Anupakrama. This part is very important. We have the detailed explanation of this in Charaka Sutra Sthana, but here very simple, in simple words it is given. Sukha Sadhya means, you remember that one is Sarva Ushada Kshame Dehe, Yunaha means in Yuva Avastha, then Pumso, Purusha Rugna, then Jitatmana person, then in Amarmaga means, if it is in Marmasthana, it will not become Sukha Sadhya. If it is Amarmaga, Alpa Hetu, Alpa Agra Rupa, Alpa Rupa, Anupadrava or Alpa Upadrava, all these are Sukha Sadhya. So wherever Alpa comes or Amarmaga, all these Lakshanas are seen in Sukha Sadhya Vyadis. Okay. Then the other features like Ekadoshaja, Ekamargaja, Nava, all these. Atulya, Dushya, Desha, Rutu, Prakriti comes under Sukha Sadhya itself. So Sukha Sadhya, you will, by seeing the symptoms, you will come to know that it is Sukha Sadhya. The difference, like you have to remember about other things. That is for Kashta Sadhya, he says about Shastradi Sadhana, which is Shastradi Sadhana, that is said to be Kashta Sadhya. Remember Kashta Shastra. Okay, Kashta Shastra. Then for Yapya, so Yapya and Pratyakheya comes under Asadhya Vyadis. First we'll see Pratyakheya. So Pratyakheya, what he says Anupakrama. Then if the patient is having Lakshanas like Autsukya, Moha, Arati, then if there is Drishta, Arishta or Akshanashana, in all these conditions, it will become Pratyakheya. Whereas if even though it is asadhya, but by if the patient is having if the patient is having ayu and if he follows patyabhyasa, if we are doing treatment in such conditions, then it will become yapya. Okay, so yapya is sheshatva tayusha and patyabhyasa. If it is coming, it is yapya. Whereas shastradi sadhana, it is kashta sadhya. Okay, shastra is kashta. Remember like that. For Pratyakheya, it is all Anupakrama, Autsukya, Moharati, Drishta, Arishta, and Akshanashana, he says. So this is in brief about first chapter. Only some these things are important here. Very basic concepts. You have to know the order of Ashtanga Ayurveda here. Know what is the dosha involvement in the different types of Agni. So here 4 types of Agni is told. Then again, what is the dosha involvement in the types of Agni? The Koshta, also in Prakriti. So he says Nindya for Dvidoshaja Prakriti. That point you remember. Dvidoshaja is Nindya. Then coming to Shadrasa, he says the order of Shadrasa is important. Then Dravya is classified into Shamana, Kopana and Swasthahita. That one reference. Then very basics. Other things, basics only. You have to know about the Chatushpada and it's the guna of the Chatushpadas, all the 4 and 4 gunas. 16 gunas you have to know. Then come Vyadhi Prakara, classification of Sadhya Sadhyata. All these are important. Especially you have to know that Shastradi Sadhana is said to be Kashta Sadhya. Then if the Ayusha is Shesha and Patyabhyasa is followed, it is Yapya. And the other rest are for Pratyakheya and Sukha Sadhya, you can easily distinguish between them. Okay, so that is about first chapter of Ashtanga Hridaya. Any doubts in this?
Ma'am, in Vipaka types Madura, Amla, Lavana or Madura, Amla, Kattu. Which one is correct?
Madura Amla?
Lavana or Katu. Lavana or Katu, which one, ma'am?
Katu. Madura Amla and Katu Vipaka.
Okay.
Okay, there is slight printing mistake there. Okay. It's Katu Vipaka only. Any other doubts? Okay, we'll move to the second chapter, that is Dinacharya Adhyaya. Here also, so first is, which is the first Dinacharya which is explained by Acharyas, you have to know. So first is in Ashtanga Hridaya, first he has told about Brahmi Muhurta, okay? First is Brahmi Muhurta, and then later on he explains about Danta Davana. There is Sushruta, he is in Charaka, it is Anjana is explained first. Okay, which is the first Dinacharya which is explained. You have to know that. And drugs which are used, Vrikshas, Arka, Nyagroda, Khadira, Karanja, and Kakuba. Kakuba is Arjuna. Yogya Rasas are here in Ashtanga Hridaya and Charaka. Both have told about Katutikta Kashaya to be the Yogya Rasas. Whereas Sushruta he has added, depending on the, what is that, each Dravya he has classified, and he has also added Madhura Rasa. Madhura Rasa reference is not there in Vagbhata and Charaka, but Sushruta has explained Madhura Rasa, and he has given each rasa, he has given one dravya which is Shreshta. That is, for Madhura it is Madhuka or Yashti Madhu. For Katu Rasa it is Karanja. For Tikta it is Nimba. And for Kashaya it is Khadira. Okay. For Tikta you can remember that it is Nimba. So Nimba is Tikta. Kadir also you can remember it to be Kashaya. But here you will get confused with Karanja. So Karanja is said to be Katu. Okay. Madhuka you can remember. So you only read Katu as Karanja, because the rest of the things you can by seeing only you can come to know. Okay. Then next, coming to the Ayogya Purusha for Dantadavana or Ayogya Lakshanas. In all GI disorders or in all diseases, that is Urdhva Jatrugata. All Urdhva Jatrugata Dantadavana is said to be contraindicated. That is Ajirna, Shwasa, Trishna, Jwara, Ardita, Vamathu, Kasa, Asyapaka. And this Dantadavana, I think 2 years back, 2019 question, there was one question related to the contraindication of Dantadavana. Okay, so Ajirna, Shwasa, Trishna, Jwara, Ardita, Vamathu, Kasa, all Urdhva Jatrugata Vikaras. Okay. Next, coming to, then he explains about Anjana. Here, for Nitya Anjana, Vagbhata is explained about Savira Anjana. Savira Anjana is Nitya Anjana, but Sushruta has told about Srota Anjana. Charaka and Vagbhata both have explained Savira Anjanam Nityam Hitamakshnos Tato Bhajet is a shloka. Because Chakshuhu Tejomayam Tasya Visheshat Sleshmanto Bhayam. So Chakshu, the Urdhva, what is the reason is because Urdhva Jatrugata, it is said to be Kafasthana. But Chakshu is said to be Teja Mahabhuta Pradhana, right? So it is having the Bhaya of Sleshma. Any Sleshma Vikara can occur. So that is the reason why for Sravana of that Sleshma, he has indicated the use of Rasanjana. He has told about Saptaratram Yojayet. Rasanjana to be for the purpose of Sravana, it is Saptaratram Yojayet. Whereas in Charaka, it is Pancharatra or Ashtaratra. Okay, Charaka has told about Pancha or Ashtaratra, whereas Vagbhata has only explained about the Saptaratra for Rasanjana, and the usage of that is for Sravanartha. Then Anjana Paschat Upakramas, he has told Namana, Gandusha, Dhuma, Tambula, and certain conditions where Tambula is contraindicated. Again, all Urdhva Jatrugata Rogas. Urakshata, then Rukshot Kupita Chakshu, Visha, Murcha, Mada, Shosha, and Raktapitta. Okay. So Dantadavana was contraindicated in one is GI diseases like Ajirna, Vamathu, Asyapaka, then Trishna, Jwara. So Jwara, Ajirnam, almost all Dinacharya procedures are contraindicated in Jwara and Ajirna. Okay. Other than that, then other extra ones you have to know. So Tambula Ayoghyata we studied. Next is, so Abhyanga. Abhyanga, again he says, three importance he says. One is to prevent the jara, and it is Shramahara, also it is Vatahara. Okay, preventing jara, Shramahara and Vatahara. And Vishesha Sthana for Abhyanga is Shira, Shravana and Pada. So three Vishesha Sthana for Abhyanga he is told. Shira, Shravana, Padeshu tam Visheshena Shilayet. Okay, and again Nishedha is one is Ajirna. So Ajirna is a symptom which is contraindicated in all dinacharya procedures. Okay. Other than that, in kafagrasta, you're not supposed to do abhyanga. In krita samshuddhi, immediately a person who has undergone shodhana karma, for him also abhyanga is contraindicated. And the other one is in ajirna also, it is contraindicated. Next is vyayama. So the importance of vyayama is it is causing agni dipana, medhakshaya, and vibhakta ganagatritvam. Okay, लाघवं कर्म सामर्थ्यं दीप्तोऽग्निर्मेधसः क्षयः विभक्तगणगात्रत्वं व्यायामादुपजायते is a shloka. Then again it is nishedha in vata pitta, in bala, in vruddha, ajirna. Ajirna you don't read only because in all dinacharya it is contraindicated, so don't read that. And then he has explained about in balavan vyakti and in snigdha bhoji, vyayama has to be done. Means the person should be having proper bala, and after taking snigdha bhojana, one who is taking snigdha bhojana only, vyayama has to be done, and it has to be done to one's ardha shakti. Okay, ardha shaktya nishevyastu balibihi snigdha bhojibihi, he says. Then in two rutus, that is in shita rutu, shita kala refers to your shishira rutu and hemanta rutu, and in vasanta rutu it is to be done for ardha shakti. Whereas in the rest rutu, that is in varsha rutu, grishma rutu and sharad rutu, it has to be done even lesser than ardha shakti, because there it is contraindicated, right? That is the reason. In grishma and all it is contraindicated. So shita kala, in shita rutu and in vasanta rutu, it should be done for ardha shakti. Okay. Shitakale vasante cha mandameva tato anyada, he says. Okay, we don't want the shlokas. Only remember that in Balavan and Snigdha Bhoji Vyakti, in Shitakala and in Vasanta Rutu, Vyayama should be done for Ardha Shakti. And coming to Ati Vyayama Janya Roga, doshas, it is Jvara, Chardi, again. Trishna, Pratamaka, Raktapitta, Kasa, Shrama, Kshaya, Klama. You just make one order and read. So the patient will be having jvara, means associated with that he is having kasa. Then he will also be having shrama. So other than then he's having chardi, trishna, pratamaka, all these ativyayamajanya doshas it is. Ativyayam will cause these diseases. Okay. And there is one more simile which is given there. What is that? Gajam simhaiva karshana bhajannati vinashyati. Okay, that simile is for ativyayama. Remember that simile. Gajam simhaiva karshana bhajannati vinashyati. Next is udvartana. So udvartana is kafaharam, medasaha pravilayanam. It causes sthirikaranam anganam and tvakprasadakaram. Here, sthirikaranam anganam is told for udvartana but not for abhyanga. Okay, remember, sthirikaranam anganam is told for udvartana. It is not told in abhyanga. It is udvartana is other than that. Kafahara medasa pravilayanam, you will remember. Only thing is sthirikaranam manganam is where you will get confused. So it is told for udvartana. And Sushruta has told it is also vatahara. Okay, udvartana is also vatahara. Apart from kafamedo vilayana, it is also causing vatahara. Next is after udvartana, what you have to do? Snana. So snana is said to be deepana. Then urja balaprada, it is said to be vrishya, ayushyakara, kandu mala, shramasveda, tandra, trit, papmajit. This you will remember. Only remember that snana is said to be deepana and vrishya. The rest of the things you can guess, because kandu mala, shramasveda and all. Snana, by doing snana, you can get rid of all those things. But snana is said to be deepana. It is also said to be vrishya. And then he has specified the use of ushnambu for adhakaya and not to use ushnambu for uttamanga, because it will cause what? Kesha chakshu balahrit. It will cause hani to Kesha and Chakshu. That is why for Uttamanga, you're not supposed to use Ushnambu. And for Adakaya, you're supposed to use Ushnambu because it is going to provide Bala. Okay. Next is Snana Nisheda, he says. Where and all it is Nisheda. One is all GI disorders like in Ajirna, in Atisara, Admana, and Bojana Uttara. After intake of food, Snana is Nisheda. That is one set of symptoms. Ajirna, Atisara, Admana, Bojana Uttara. Then, in Netra Roga, Asya Roga, Karna Roga, Penis and Ardita. Okay, again Urdhva Jatru Vikaras only. Netra Roga, Asya Roga, Karna Roga, then Penasa and Ardita. So two sets you classify. One is related to GI disorders. The other one is related to your sense organs. Netra, Asya, Karna, Penasa. The other one is Ardita. And Bojanottara also, Snana is said to be Nisheda. Then the reference of Sadvritta also we get it in same chapter. In Charakai, the reference of Sadvritta is not explained in Tasya Shitya, but here, along with Dinacharya, he explains Sadvritta and he explains about Dashavida Papa Karmas. Only remember that he has explained Dashavida Papa Karmas. Which are the Dashavida Papa Karmas? Not much important. Just for your knowledge, you have to know, that's it. Himsa Astheya, Anyatha Kama, Paishunya, Parusha, Andhata, Sambhinalapa, Vyapada, Abhidya, and Drigvipadyaya. Remember only Dashavida Papa Karmas in the context of Sadvritta is explained in Dinacharya chapter. That much if you remember, that's enough. Okay. So, first procedure which is told in Dinacharya is to get up Brahmi Muhurtam Uttishtet. Then, after Swastha Sharira Chinta, he has explained about Dantadavana. So, first is Dantadavana, and later, after Dantadavana, he explains about Anjana. In Dantadavana, remember which rasas are told. Then Anjana, which is you have to know about, which is the Nitya Anjana and which is used for Sravanartha. For Rasanjana is used for which purpose and the duration which is told. When to use Rasanjana, he has told Saptaratra. Okay. Then explanation of Abhyanga. So three areas where Visheshatah Abhyanga has to be done is Shira, Shravana and Pada. Then he explains about Vyayama. So in Vyayama, he says Shita Kala and Vasanta Kala to be done in only for Ardha Shaktya. Okay. And only in Balavan Vyakti. In Vruddha, Ajirna, Bala and Vata Pittamayi, Vyayama is said to be contraindicated. And one more point I've missed, that is Vyayama Paschat Upakrama. He says it Mardana as a Vyayama Paschat Upakrama. Then Ativyayama Janya Rogas, he says Udvartana, then is Udvartana and Snana. And then he explains about Sadvritta and Dashaveda Papa Karmas are explained. So these many topics are important in your Dinacharya. See, when Ashtanga Hridaya is concerned, there is not much questions which is asked from this Samhita, but very basic questions will be coming. Especially you have to know at least the first 15 chapters of Sutra Sthana apart from other things. Then one more point is here, while studying the history of Ashtanga Hridaya, you have to know that in Sutra Sthana, so how many sthanas they have told here is 5 sthanas are told. One, Sutra Sthana, Nidana, Sharira, Chikitsa and Kalpasthana, and Uttara Tantra also is explained. So Sutra Sthana consists of 30 chapters, Nidana Sthana 16, Sharira is 6 chapters, Chikitsa Sthana 22 chapters, and Kalpasthana is 6 chapters. Yes, anybody tell about how many sthanas are there in Charaka Samhita? And the number of chapters. Charaka Samhita, sthanas and number of chapters. Sutra Sthana, how many chapters? Sutra Sthana, which is a specific sthana which is explained only by Charaka. It is not explained in Ashtanga Hridaya or Sushruta. Yes, 30 chapters. Which is that sthana? Only explained by Charaka.
Vimanasthana.
Yes, Vimanasthana is explained by Charaka. Okay. So these two chapters, you revise it once again. Any doubts in this? First two chapters, these are very basic chapters. From first year you have studied, and I think you even by hearted shlokas from the first two chapters, then 11, 12 chapters and all, you have by hearted the shlokas also. So once you revise it, that's it. Some specific points which you might forget, no, only those things you read once again, like the order of Ashtanga, Ayurveda and all. Understood? Which Prakriti is said to be in India? India Prakriti? Which is an India Prakriti? Yes. Dr. Suma, you were answering.
Vidoshaja, ma'am.
Yes, the Doshaja Prakriti. Yeah. Okay, these very basic things. From next class, we'll go a little fast and complete 2-3 chapters at a time, because next few chapters, till fourth chapter, it is important. Later, then he says about Dravadravya, Annadravya and all. Yeah, there only very specific things are important. You just mark which are the important ones and only read those things from this Ashtanga Hridaya, okay? Yes. No doubts?